Today I will present about my final exam presentation. It's about designing an IoT application in a new environment. The title is Design of IoT Application for Smart Desert using Spiderweb Algorithm. So, we already know that IoT is a viral technology. It is used commonly for helping people to make the life more efficiently, and then IoT now is deployed commonly in the city. So it is still rare to develop IoT application in an extreme environment, for example, like in desert. So how to make it possible to deploy it in desert like that? So the three keywords I get from the class is the mid-cat, protective coloration, and spiderweb. And based on these three keywords, I will make an idea about how to make it in the desert or in an extreme design. So we already know that in desert there are several like animals like mid-cat, spider, scorpion, and etc. And also in desert, the temperature is very hot or cold depending on the time. It is hot, very hot during noon, and very cold at night. And then it has very low precipitation throughout the year. It means there's a little rain during the year, and it has a little evaporation. So based on the keyword, one of them is protective coloration. It's an ability to blend with surroundings and therefore escape the attention of predators. So this is one of the unique characteristic of animal in the desert, like in meerkat. For example, in this picture, meerkat has brown fur, like its surrounding, which is the ground. And for the algorithm I used here, I will use spiderweb algorithm. This is also the keyword I get from the class. But to develop a new or novel algorithm, I propose this algorithm using the two kinds of technique. The first one is labeling, and then the second one is sectorization. Actually, the first technique, labeling, is already commonly used, but the sectorization is my proposed one. And it will enable the sensor to be spread in wide areas and will result to better communication routing among the sensors to the base station. Yeah, this is the uniqueness I propose, combining labeling technique and sectorization technique. And this is the illustration of the algorithm I will develop. So in here, if you can see here, this is the purple circle, means the sensor, one of the sensor. The sensor can circulate its signal data to another neighbor. Or in this spider web, I divide it into some labeling and sectorization, as I mentioned before. So you can see here in this is sector 1, sector 2, sector 3, and sector 4, and maybe if there's another, if the diameter is getting bigger, and then there will be sector 5, sector 6, and so on. And then you can see here also this is level 1 and level 1, level 2, level 3, and level 4. So one sensor will be deployed in one sector or one field here, and the signal data will be transferred or transmitted only into the neighbor sector or the higher level, like this arrow and this arrow. And the signal will come into the base station, and this is the destination for the signal, base station. If you see here, I think this is for only abstract illustration, and this is the real illustration. We can just spread the First, we will determine the position of the station, and then we can spread the sensor data like this. Each of the field, like this one and this one, can have one or more sensors. Like this. One field here can have 2 sensors or 3 sensors, and here also 2 sensors. We can just deploy it as much as we want. So yeah, but all of the destination of the signal will be transmitted into the base station, and I will explain about how about the difference between one sensor only in one field or many sensor in one field. So this is the 5 step of my real-time system design. For the stimuli, it will be temperature, humidity, animal behavior. Yeah, because my purpose here to develop this IoT platform application in the desert, because we can determine the temperature. We can know about humidity and animal behavior or something like that, based on the characteristic of the desert. And the timing constraint, I set it less than or equal to 1 second. And then system function, there will be 4 system function here. Is higher level, is neighbor sector, the transmit packet, or is wait stage. I will explain later. And design algorithm, of course, I propose spider web algorithm. And for the design scheduling, I will use 2 kind of scheduling. The first one is FCFS, first come first serve, and the second one is time division cluster scheduling, TDCS. So the difference between these 2 scheduling is that for FCFS, I can just use that for the field which has only 1 sensor, like this and this and this one. But for TDCS, I can use this for a field which has more than 1 sensor, like this. The reason is that it will make it like to avoid a collision between cluster. So in this case, I consider that this is 1 cluster, and then this is 1 cluster. This is 1 cluster, and to avoid the collision in each cluster, I can use TDCS scheduling. And next, this is the FSM diagram. First, every sensor will start here. Start means to be ready to send the signal, and then next, the sensor will in the idle state. Idle state means, yeah, the sensor will still ready to send the data, and if the signal data will have to be transmitted, and then it will check if the packet from low level, and then it will transmit to higher level, or either if it is from neighbor sector, it will transmit to neighbor sector, and also, yeah, and then the final destination of all the sensor signal data, I already mentioned that this is a transmit to base station, but there is an exception here, because if the packet comes from high to low level data, which is the limitation of the proposed algorithm, so the signal data will be drop packet here and go back to idle state. All of the sensor state will be go back to idle state to wait for new packet. In addition to the FSM design, I will also pseudocode to just to give a brief explanation about this algorithm. In this statement, first, the initialization of some variables, and then for this one, this is for idle state. Start state. So it will be checked that if there is no packet to be sent, then this packet will be 0 and sent to the idle state, and then if there is packet to be sent, the packet will be set 1 and sent to idle state. And in idle state here, if there is packet to be sent, which is new packet is 1, and then here will be transmit to X, else it will drop the packet or back to the state, idle state. Yeah, idle state. And this is for the drop state. It is simply to return to the main function. It means back to the beginning, drop packet. And for transmit the data, I think this function is the most important in my proposed algorithm. So if there is first it will check the sector, check if the packet to be sent to the neighbor sector, and it will check also there is if there is a packet to be sent, and if the packet comes from the lower level, the level will be increased level for 1, and transmit level. And if you see here, there is a call function in function. It means it will iterate, or it will have a loop until it finishes. When will it be finished? It will finish until the base station, until the packet is arrived in base station, and the base station here will be equal to 1, and it will break here. So yeah, the process is end. Until it's end, it will return to main and wait for another new packet. This is the code I propose. I think because in Java language, because I think it's more suitable to develop it in Java. Okay, thank you very much.